All right, we're going. So what's up, my friends? It is your buddy, Jerry D. Howell, Reverend Sarge, coming to you to visit with you. It's been a moment since we talked, so I just want to kind of lay out a quick PSA about Valkyrie and what's going on with us. So, as you know, we've brought a couple people on board that are going to be helping out with some of the tasks that honestly I'm not very good at, like the IT stuff and dealing with the websites and all the different things that we kind of are building at one time here. And so there may be a couple of little hitches. What those will look like to you is us kind of moving to different pages and kind of getting everything to where we can easily navigate it, and where Elvira, our IT warrior, will be able to get on there and just have ease of operation as she's trying to upload things and make changes to things. She's going to be in charge of the majority of that. Then when it comes to messaging and things like that, please understand we're growing to a point where we're probably going to have to start a brand new YouTube channel and a brand new Facebook presence, which may include transferring me over to a public figure type of account, as well as setting up a new Valkyrie page for Facebook. And so we're also looking at some other platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and some other things like that, trying to get those things running and all congruent. So all of the staff needs to be able to get to all that stuff easily, and we've looked at it a couple different ways, and it seems like it's going to be the easiest thing to just implement new ones, right? And so as we do this, I hope that you'll come along with us. I'll do my best to keep you aware of where we're going to go, and like we're nailing down the final stuff now. So this next set of moves will be the last, I promise. But we appreciate you loving and caring about us enough to stick around with us and deal with some of these growing pains. When I first started painting live, I never imagined it was going to grow like it has, and so I've been really lucky that it has. And then of course, when I started doing my work as a Satanist reverend, there's a lot of questions out there. A lot of folks that are like me that are either Christians or they're atheists, and they don't really understand what it means to be a member of the Satanic Temple. I am a member at this time. I'm not ordained by the Satanic Temple yet. I intend to go for that, and once I'm vetted and all that stuff and take the tests, hopefully that'll work out for me. But at the moment, what I'm doing is offering some sermons and some joyful engagements, some kind words, and really trying to let people know that just because we may dress different or wear our cross upside down or wear black lipstick or be ourselves, in essence, our truest self, whether that's transgender, gay, lesbian, whatever, however you identify, your truest self, you can be it here. And that's why I became a member of the Satanic Temple, because I'd left the Christian church and I missed community, right? And so we want to continue that community, and we want to have you be a part of that with art. And we're going to offer a lot of different stuff. I write poetry, I do paintings, I do custom work, as you know. So my work is, it varies, it just depends on what my client's looking for, what they ask for. Do a lot of really colorful portraits and things like that, but I can do landscapes and trees and just everything you can imagine. I've done a lot of crashing seas. I love those. I love the ocean. Anyway, moving forward, we are going to kind of be establishing some of this new stuff. So I'm going to get everything kind of put in place, right? And we will make one last set of moves that I'll advertise many, many times, so that you can be aware of it. And if you would like to accompany us on that journey, we would sure love to have you. Please know that if you're a Christian or if you're an atheist or if you're a Satanist, you're welcome here, right? We love you. There's no animosity here. What I do with my sermons is not to embarrass Christians or to make them feel attacked. It's not like that. But what I do is I offer differing opinions on what the Bible says. When a lot of times when I went to church, and even when I was a youth minister, and I was a minister also with the Young Life group, you kind of stick to the stuff that gets the offering plate filled, right? And that's a business. I get it. One thing I came to realize when I was in sales, and this may sound a little bit weird, but a lot of things that we don't really recognize as what I would call emotional transactions, they are, right? So when I go to the movies, for instance, I'm going to buy an emotion. So if I want to go see an adventure film, if I want to go see a thriller or a scary movie, if I want to go see The Notebook, right? I mean, I'm buying an emotion. I'm either buying sadness, I'm buying happiness, I'm buying whatever. It's a transaction. In the very same way, and this is just true when you think about it. When I give money to a homeless person or whatever, in essence, I'm making a transaction, right? I'm giving them something, and what they're giving me in return is some feel good for me, and that's just the truth, right? We can call it anything else, and believe me, when I give, it's not just for that reason. It is out of altruism. I have a heart for that, but at the same time, there's a transaction that takes place, right? So I give this person money. What I get in return is, as I get in my car and drive off, I can feel good that I helped somebody out, right? Okay, transaction. Same thing when you go to church, okay? You go to church, you want to feel good about yourself, you want to feel like you're doing something positive in your life. You've given the offering plate into your tithe. That's what's required. I understand that. But at the same time, you have made an emotional transaction. You have purchased the ability to feel like you're a little bit better off, right? And that's fine. People use all kinds of crutches and things in their lives to make their lives better. I'm not here to ruin that for you, okay? At the same time, what I never knew is that when I became an atheist, I would be more free, more happy, and every rose would look better and smell better. Every drop of dew, everything would be more precious to me because I realized that my life was a short time, and in those moments I need to embrace them as much as is possible. People ask me a lot of times why I'm nice, when I'll have folks attack me and stuff. Honestly, it's just because I don't have time to be angry. I can get frustrated at times, and you've noticed me do that, I'm sure. And I'm pretty particular about if I publicly chastise somebody, I try to also publicly apologize because I'm not in this to make enemies. And we do have Christians on our page, we have atheists on our page, we have Satanists on our page. You're all welcome. We want to have you here. We love you. We invite the debate. I may not be able to engage in it as much as I may like personally, and that's not because I'm avoiding it or anything like that. I'll try to address it in my next sermon or something like that. But really what I'm trying to do is paint, And if I get too caught up trying to catch up with everybody, I don't end up doing my job enough. And so what I'm really here for, the main drive of what I do is right behind me. And it takes a lot of focus. When you don't see me on video, I get up at 7 a.m., I start my sermon, I do my Bible study, I take a bath. I do the same routine every day, 7 days a week usually, right? So I answer a few things, maybe some messages and things like that. I try to get caught up as much as I can. And then I go down to the gym. I pop a Red Bull down the hatch, and I start, or not the gym, I come down here. Pop Red Bull down the hatch and I start my work, right? And so there's a lot of planning that goes into an art piece, right? And so when you see me working on 3 and 4 pieces at a time, you have to understand each one of them took at least a day or so to sketch out. And I messed it up a few times. You can see I've got 2 of Miss Temple going on right now. It's just because I don't know which one I like. If I'm having trouble finding that rhythm, sometimes you'll see me start 2 and 3 times just to get it right. So when you commission me to do an art piece, I take every one of them serious, and so in order to do that and to do it the way I feel comfortable with, I do need to spend more time doing that than I do anything else. So even when you don't see me, a lot of times I work 15 hours a day, so I'll be in my studio working from 7 a.m. I'll eat, of course, and things like that, but I'll typically be working in here until 11 sometimes. And so I do not have a whole heck of a lot of a personal life. That's fine. This is the life I've chosen. I'm happy with it. It's not a sacrifice to do what I love. At the same time, if you see me take a day off and I don't answer anything or get on Facebook at all, it's for no other reason than the fact that, one, I'm kind of a private person anyway. I don't really like to put, I don't put out what I'm eating and shit like that. It's just not my thing. If it's important, I try to lay it out there or things like that. You notice I'll usually do a battery of things, and then I'll stop for a while and be working. It's not because, well, I guess I am just a touch antisocial. I always kind of have been. I'm an artist, so I'm a little bit eccentric. I have some eccentric habits, and then sometimes when I want to shut down, I need to turn my phone off and my computer off and just watch TV. You know what I mean? Like just clear it all up, because between dealing with the reverend stuff, the subsequent conversations and sometimes arguments that come out of that, debates, we'll say, and then also trying to get with my clients and figure out what they want. And, am I tracking with what you're looking for in your painting, that kind of thing. It can get real busy real fast. And so if I check out for a day or so, that's me taking some vacation time, okay? So don't get worried. I'll tell you if something's wrong. Or, honestly, if I get sick, and you've noticed this, I'm sure, I'm a baby. I just turn into a baby. I don't want to do nothing, right? And so I don't get on Facebook and tell everybody I'm feeling sick and shit like that. I usually will tell you after the fact, when I'm starting to feel better and I feel like kind of messing with it. So, please don't take any offense to that. It's not me trying to be rude. However, we do have now some resources and, Vira and some of the other staff that will be able to address questions, and they'll know what's going on. Obviously, I'll let them know what I'm doing and things. And so if I need to, like yesterday, I'd been up for several days because I have insomnia real bad. And so I just buried in the bed, dude. I crashed so damn hard. So I slept for almost a whole day, and that's just the way my body works. It's unfortunate, it's frustrating. I've tried to deal with it a couple different ways. Nothing really worked, and so sometimes you just have to suffer with what you've been giving. And I don't call it suffering necessarily, but sometimes you just have to deal with your cards. You know what I'm saying? You just got to play the game with what you got. And so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm lucky to be a professional artist now. I'm lucky to be able to bring these things to you. I do them out of love. I do them out of genuine kindness. And luckily, I think that the satanic community needs some good positive influences. And I'm not saying that I'm the right guy for that, but I am saying that I am accepting the call and stepping up, right? And what that turns into later, I don't know. It may turn into nothing. I may be a guy that you don't even want to listen to. That's fine. I'm not trying to bug you, bother you, or anything like that. I just want to love on you, tell you that you're special, tell you that this is one life that we get to enjoy it. Don't run around being rude to people or being mean. There's just no need for it, right? And I think one of the best things about the satanic community is that I got all of the things I was looking for in the church. They were real here, right? And so when the church would say, hey, we accept you just as you are. No, they don't, right? But we do, right? So it doesn't matter if you're any part of the LGBTQ community, if you're, a person that likes to wear black lipstick or dress like a clown or whatever the fuck you want to do, you're okay here. You're okay here as long as you are a good person with a good heart. And, I always try to stress that it's important to still be a gentleman, to still be a worthy individual. When you deal with your satanic sisters, treat them with respect and with love. When you deal with anybody in the LGBTQ community, deal with them the way they want to be dealt with. Love them, and if they have a way they want to be talked to, talk to them that way. What's the fucking big deal, right? I've just always thought it was funny that within the church I came from, the Christian church, there's just all this judgment, all this, hey, look, my life looks like this, so yours should too. Once I got free of all that stuff, I had all this joy in my heart, all this stuff that I'd never experienced. And it's real. It's not just some elation that I get from going to a public event. We don't really have much of that. We have some of it in the satanic community, but there's not a church to go to every week or anything like that. And so when I offer sermons and things like that, it's just so you'll have some resources. And most people haven't studied the Bible the way I have. I've spent years on it. And one of the reasons for that is because I was grasping at straw. I was trying to maintain my faith as it was slipping through my fingers. And I felt what I thought were the icy cold grip of atheism and realizing that real life is different. I felt it gripping my heart and I was afraid. And then when I finally released, I was just like, okay, it's so obvious that there's not a God. I'm just holding on to it because I want to. Once I realized that I didn't have to do these things, my life got a lot easier, a lot more fun. I can tell you that the friendships that I've made here are more beautiful than anywhere else. I hope that when people deal with me, that they feel like they're dealing with a professional and a gentleman. I'm from the South, so you can probably hear that in my voice. I think you should treat women a certain way. And I don't mean that they need me to open their doors, but I sure do mean that I'm going to do it just because that's how I'm built, right? I love independent women. You know, they're beautiful. You find them here, right? These are women that have their own voice. You know, nobody's telling them they can't speak up in church or telling them they should submit to a man or anything stupid like that. These women get to be themselves. And man, there's just nothing more beautiful than a flower having enough room to bloom. You know, so keep your space. You know, keep everybody happy around you. Give them their space. Love everyone. Be kind. Hail Satan. And I hope you have a beautiful day. If you could just follow us around a little bit, we're going to get this shit squared away. We're going to have it all streamlined. So I apologize if this is a growing moment, but if you could just stick with us, it'd really mean a lot to us. Thank you so much. We love you. And from Valkyrie Recovery Artwork Studios, Hail Satan, baby.